To most people, Aragi Kai looked like your typical brooding emo kid. Just another moody teen, right? Wrong, he was way more than that. Gaio is a pro hitman who terrified targets. 0 survivors. Ever. His classmates totally trashed him for being a creepy outcast. They hated his weird vibes. But then, boom, major plot twist hits. Kai and the squad got yeeted straight into another dimension. A magic realm. Some mystery voice drops a bomb on them all. You're heroes. Go kill the Demon King. Classic RPG setup. She hands out cheat skills. Obviously, Kai scores the OP one. The strongest skill. Naturally, curious. Let's rewind a bit. Back to square one. Picture a dude sprinting through a dark alley. Sweating buckets. Terrified. He skids to a halt. Shaken. Checked behind him. Safe. Nope. Surprise guest incoming. A blade kisses his neck. Take my cash. He begs the killer. Just let me live. But a second later, lights out. Buddy. Throat slit. Next morning, just a tired kid walking to class. Aragi Kai looked wrecked. He let out a massive yawn. Pulling an all-nighter for work. Made school a total drag. Assassin life is rough. He walks in, and the gossip starts. Whispers everywhere. Midu Shuji flashes a blinding grin. Soccer star, class prez. Kai just gives him the cold shoulder. Totally ignores him, and sits. Nagase recatches the vibe. Rude as ever, she sneers. The class fashion queen speaks. She stands out big time. She marches to Shuji. Don't bother with losers like Kai. But Shuji plays nice. Maybe he's just tired, Shuji says. Suddenly, another guy enters. Re-rolls her eyes. Great, someone even ruder just arrived. Enter Arashi, local gang boss. Total delinquent. Kids say hi, but Arashi ignores. He locks eyes on Kai. Kai's napping? Disrespect. Arashi storms over and screams. Wake up. He tries to grab Kai, but Kai catches his wrist fast. I'm sleepy. What do you want? Kai deadpans, releasing him. Arashi flinches. Freak. Then, a new player enters. Kanzaki Rin speaks up. Quiet, beauty, and brains combined. Martial arts, pro, bookworm, and the school's ice queen. Arashi starts beefing, but Hashimoto cuts him off sharp. Discipline committee. She's obsessed with rules and order. She squares up. Narumi, Yoshia chimes in. He'll wreck you. Yoshia, the class clown. Everyone eventually sits down. Shinzo High. First year's just another chaotic morning. A class full of drama. Kai kept his head low, dozing off. Suddenly, Kai felt a glitch. A weird vibe right underfoot. Under Shuji, neon blue light, a magic circle glows up. The floor lights up. The whole class freaks out, confused. Panic mode, the circle expands, swallowing the whole room. Shuji yelled at everyone to scram, but Kai knew they were cooked. Too late, a massive flash of light blinded the whole squad. Next thing, they get isekai'd into some dusty old castle. Everyone was knocked out. Kai woke up first, feeling groggy. He saw stone walls and pillars good cover, bad vibes. Only one exit. Then the other students started waking up. Total panic mode. But Shuji played the cool class prez role. Kai was just glad Shuji could keep the mob from freaking out. Arashi hopped up, shouting, "We ain't got time for this." He signaled his 2 goons. But Kai cut him off fast. "Yo! Footsteps approaching from the door!" Kai warned them. He sensed a dude and a lady right before the doors burst open. In walked a girl and an old guy, straight out of a fantasy art, full medieval cosplay, flowy capes and everything. The girl smiled, calling them impressive hero candidates. The class was shook. Kai quietly scanned the new arrival. The old guy was built like a tank, definitely a sword master. He was on guard. The girl seemed fit, but pretty average. She introduced herself as Leonora, Archbishop of the Holy Country, and her bodyguard was Guasa Knight. Classic setup. Arashi scoffed. Never heard of that place. You trollin'? He asked if it was a prank. She shot back a firm no. Shuji stepped up, explaining they were totally confused. We just spawned here, so we're kinda on edge. Then she spoke. Time for the plot dump. You've been summoned to a parallel world. You're humanity's last hope to wreck the evil demon king. You are the chosen heroes. The students weren't buying it. Guas barked at Arashi to watch his mouth around the saint. Arashi didn't flinch, so Guas reached for his blade. Leonora tried to chill them, but Arashi lunged at the knight. Kai admired the guts, but Guas was faster than lightning. Slash. A tiny cut appeared on Arashi's forehead. Invisible speed. Leonora apologized for the violence, but promised answers. But you gotta zip it and listen to me, she insisted. Her vibe switched from sweet to scary, real quick. The Demon King's invasion is basically wiping us out, she said. Our country is fighting back, but we're running on fumes. We can't stop them. Kai thought, wow, such a generic plot. You guys are our final shot, she added dramatically. The class panicked, yelling, we can't fight. We're just kids. 0 combat skills here. Some girls started sobbing. The knight grunted, sounds crazy, but you have no choice. Because you're stuck here until the Demon King is dead. Jaw-dropping news. But Kai figured it was just a motivation lie. Just a trick to make them fight. He saw right through it. You can't just choose violence instantly. You need actual skills. Arashi popped up, leaking HP from his head, roasting them for bossing him. He said he hates their vibe. Gas saw Arashi wasn't broken yet and thought, maybe this noob has potential. Gas gripped his blade, deciding to delete Arashi before he got annoying. But froze when Leonora started patching up Arashi's face. She explained she was using the system, a cheat code gifted by the gods. Basically, she told them it was just like RPG magic. Kai caught on that she knew. Lauren wondered if she'd pulled other players from Earth before. She walked to Shuji, saying this power was exactly why she summoned them. She lifted her hands, and Shuji's wrist lit up, spawning a lightsaber thingy. She then said they could use system hacks to unlock their hidden buffs. She admitted it was a super selfish ask to trap them here, but begged them to please lend their strength. Shuji was like, even with buffs, we can't fight yet. She promised they'd get a tutorial arc and free housing. Shuji took the lead, telling the class, look, I know you're shook, but the main quest right now is survival. He said they should play along, and the class agreed. When Leon saw they were down to help, she started handing out superpowers. Mori got telekinesis, Arashi got explosion hacks, Rina got fire, Yoshia got wind, and everyone else got Seik abilities. Leonora asked if anyone was missed, and Kai raised his hand. She buffed him too, and suddenly his vision glitched out. The second it loaded, he could see Leonora's stats. His eye turned red, and she told him. He unlocked Judgment, a super rare skill that reveals target stats. He tested the hacks on himself and saw his own profile. Arashi flexed his powers and roasted Kai, saying, bro only got a colored contact lens. Kai saw the class acting like main characters without knowing the lore. Their skills were just borrowed gear that could be nerfed anytime. But he was chill. He had other ways to drop both. After the power-up, Leonora told them to log off and rest. That evening, the heroes went to their rooms. Kai sneaked out the window to farm for intel. Outside, guards were on patrol, trash-talking how the heroes looked weak. These kids are gonna beat the Demon King. One said, the saint must know some secrets. Kai listened to the whole chat. He scanned a guard's stats and saw he only had basic sword skills. He dipped out to find more info, memorizing the city map along the way. The place was a fortress. He wanted to hit the inner keep, but the security was insane. Sneaking in? Zero chance. Best to just chill and try later. Meanwhile, Rina was scouting an open field. With her two sons, they needed a quiet spot to grind XP and practice their new moves. They started blasting magic, checking out the flashy effects. Reyna was geeking out over that whole divine protection hype. Kai was bush camping nearby, spying, when he got a super weird vibe. The girls heard it. Two crunching noises. Out popped a giant lizard thing, totally drawn in by their mana. Kai scanned its stats with magic and wa. Those numbers were actually kinda insane. Big roar. Then it charged the girls. Kai figured the lizard, buff but brainless. It was just charging in a straight line. Zero strategy. He chucked a knife right at it, and the blade punched through the hide. Rena tripped face first onto the ground. The beast was right there, ready to squash her flat, when suddenly it froze cold. The girls looked up and saw a blade stuck in its dome. Gross, did some mystery hero save them? Whatever, they bailed fast. Kai didn't really have to help, but his conscience was like, dude, you can't just ignore that. He figured life would be a pain if these mobs were just roaming. Freedy walked over to loot his knife back from the carcass, but suddenly felt eyes on him. He ducked behind the monsters. Bodhi coast clear, seemed empty. He headed back to his dorm to dodge any drama. Then, a figure stepped out from behind, while totally hooded up in a robe. Zero face visible. The creeper crushed the lizard's skull like a grape. Pop went the eyes. He muttered about how trash these hero candidates were. Totally weak. But Kai, he smelled familiar. The next morning, Gavs hauled the carcass into class. Everyone was completely shook to see something that ugly. Gas said they found it near the capital last night. Blamed the Demon King for driving mobs totally berserk. Made them crave human snacks. He warned the hero, hopefuls that this is what they'd be fighting. Gas asked Steady, the resident nerd, if he saw anything weird. Steady was like, yep, traces of sorcery. Probably a mid-tier demon. He said, maybe they were scouting the power levels of the new recruits. Kai wondered. Sorcery versus magic. What's the diff? That was a new vocab word. Shugi asked if the mob was being mined. Steady explained that Boz demons use servitude spells to control the weak. Gas dragged Steady off before he could nerd out. Even though he wanted to keep talking, Kai noted Steady was a solid info source. Then it hit him, that creepy vibe last night. Definitely a demon. A pro one too, since Kai barely clocked him. He figured the demon might be lurking close right now. Just then, he felt eyes on him. Arashi spoke up. Guess was like, "You can't go home unless you delete the demon." Kai wasn't vibing with that, and neither was the rest of the squad. Everyone agreed. Kai figured they better get real about this fast. The heavy truth hit him. Then Leonora walks in. "Yo, don't panic. You guys just don't know how to use your hacks yet. You need practice. Since they're Isekai protagonists, their XP gain is going to be broken, way faster than locals." So, 1 week into the training arc, students were grinding. Kai was in the library, being a nerd. He basically downloaded the language instantly. Thought it was weird. Universal translation is sus, right? Anyway, his power was trash. Judgment is useless in a fight, so he got benched to the library. But he couldn't find squat on history, culture, or even the demons. The top 5 students were Narumi, with Win Arashi, the explosion guy, Kanzaki, with her telekinesis, Hashimoto, on earthbending duty, and Rina blasting fire, basically, the Power Rangers of this world. But one other dude was leveling up insanely fast. Shoot, he was already better than his sword teachers. Kai checked his stats. Using judgment, he saw Shuji was rank B or higher. Last week, rank D. Crazy gains. Suddenly, 2 jerks strolled up to Kai to start drama. They roasted him, and Kai noticed everyone else was giving him powers made them cocky. One guy tried to get physical with Kai. Big mistake. Kai judo flipped him instantly. Then the teachers arrived. Leonora announced that since they were leveling up so fast, plans changed. Things are moving ahead of schedule. Time to stop hitting dummies. Narumi asked, "Wait, are we fighting the boss already?" Leonora said, "Nope, not the Demon King. Just regular monsters. Baby steps. Heroes." Everyone panicked. Next day, the teachers dragged the hero wannabes into the deep woods. Gas said this was their first real combat drill. The terrain was messy, lots of obstacles. Can't move freely here, so split up. Teams of 2 or 3, don't die, he basically said. Everyone grouped up with their besties, leaving Kai and Kanzaki solo. They were the leftovers, so they had to team up. Super awkward. Kai knew she was confident and cold. A total Ice Queen type, also very proud. She caught him staring. Meanwhile, Leonora spoke up. "Since this is special, the team with the most kills gets a loot drop." The drill started. They walked into the woods, and Kanzaki got salty. She told Kai, "My powers are OP compared to everyone else's. I don't need you. Just don't get in my way. Okay?" Kai was cool with that. "Fine, you do all the work. I'll chill." She got mad. "Don't you have any pride?" Suddenly, he sensed 4 things. Enemies hiding nearby. One monster rushed him, and Kanzaki flew. Her power, domination, basically forces people to obey her orders. She told the goblin to bow down, and the dude literally did it. But she looked wiped out immediately. A few minutes later, she confessed, "I get tired if I use this too much because it drains my battery." Drained Ivana. He told her to just frag the goblin before another beast jumped them. But she froze, thinking the creep looked way too human. Kai face-bombed, reminding her it was a monster that tried to eat them. He tossed a rock, figuring she was just a soft student from Japan, spoiled by peace. While he toyed with the pebble, 3 more uglies popped up. She commanded them to bow. Then she yelled at Kai to help. Instead of staring, Kai scoffed. "You said stay out of it." Sighing, she ordered the goons to snap their own necks. Snap Dead Kai was actually shook. Her voice worked that well. She explained that harder orders meant lower success rates. The goblin pile grossed her out, but Kai tried to drop some. "Wisdom," she asked. "How are you so chill with 0 powers?" He shrugged. "Don't sweat it. That's my vibe." He teased. "Wanna bail if you're scared?" Her pride screamed no way. He knew she was just acting tough, but hey, she wasn't half bad. Meanwhile, Narumi and Hashimoto fled a beast waiter buff for them. Running failed, so they decided to combo wind and rock powers. They smashed the thing with a huge boulder. 0 damage. Total fail. Panic mode. Kanzaki just wanted to go home. Since she hadn't paid back her grandpa yet, she really wanted to prove she's grown. She was zoning out when Kai asked if she was moving or getting lost. They started bickering. She wondered why he was such a cryptic jerk. While goofing off, a loud boom hit. Kanzaki knew that. Scream Hashimoto. Kai asked the plan. Help her. Duh. Elsewhere, Hashimoto got yeeted feet away by the beast, leaking blood. She told Narumi run, but too late. The monster turned to wreck him next. Kanzaki yelled, "Stop," and froze it. Narumi thanked her. She warned, "It's too strong. I can't hold it long." Kai checked Hashimoto. "Alive?" He nodded. "Yeah, ... but bad shape," Kai ordered. "Backpack her and scram." Narumi hesitated, then grabbed her and bailed. Once Gonkai scanned the monster's stats. Whoa, crazy. High numbers, especially defense. His attacks would bounce. It was a mutant tank. He wondered what the heck it was. Kanzaki screamed. "I'm slipping," he shouted back. "Good job, let's jet," she agreed, looking at the beast, but her legs were jelly from mana drain. She couldn't move. Seeing the mess, Kai pulled a smoke grenade. Poof! Bought enough time to scoop Kanzaki up. She blushed hard at the Princess Carrie. "What's the smog?" she asked. "DIY smoke bomb," he lied. "Totally made it in class." Actually, he was capping it. Was loot from his old life. Limited stock, so he hated wasting it. Basic ninja kit. Kanzaki was all like, "My bad, I got us stuck here." Total guilt trip, cause she needed saving. Kai sighed, chilled with the sorries. "Just say thanks." Cue the banter. Then she goes, "Let's bail." But Kai's like, "Nah, look, Shuji." The squad pulled up. Without missing a beat, rushed a bear for messing with his homies. Fesk strikes, hurt its hand. Rina jumped in, blasting fire. Magic, monster. Barely flinched though, just lagged a bit. They dogpiled the beast. Meanwhile, some creeper was peeping Delphus, a pro demon hit. He smirked, thinking the tanky bear would wreck these hero noobs. But they leveled up fast. He dug Shuji's.com vibe. Scouting's over. Time to kill? Change of plans? He prepped to end them. But whoops, Kuji already won. Delphus grinned, ready to gank but froze cold. Steel on his neck. It was Kai. Demon was shook. "How'd he ghost me?" Stress levels rising. He needed to bolt. Kai slashed his legs and swept him. "She?" Kai whispered. "Don't alert the normie. Answer my questions, and you walk. A fair trade?" Delphus wanted to fight, but Kai had the high ground. "Was that you stalking me last night?" Kai asked. "I knew you were lurking. Let the squad fight just to bait you out." Classic trap. Kai cut him off. "I need intel. We're new to this server, so start talking. Spill everything." Delphus smirked. "Refusing?" Kai sliced his hands. "Don't make it hard. Brew. Just cooperate." Delphus laughed. "Don't underestimate me." Crunched a poison pill and deleted himself. "Demon King's army is hard." Kai noted. Suddenly, Kanzaki walked up, gagging. "At the corpse? How long were you watching?" "Since he hit the dirt," she said. Kai explained. "Dead guy's a demon. The bear was his puppet. That lizard from before? Him t." She freaked out. "The big bad wants us dead." "How'd you spot the ninja when no one else did?" Kai figured. Why hide it? Family business. He shrugged. "We're assassins. Takes one to know one." Kanzaki's jaw dropped. "Believe it or don't." He said, "Des on you." Told her to keep quiet about the corpse since the rookies were already freaking out over hot. She agreed but was like, "I didn't No, you were such a softie." He just rolled his eyes. "Nah, just 'cause they can't scrap like me." Anyway, the whole squad huddled around Hashimoto, who looked totally wrecked on the floor. Hano, the healer girl, flopped down next to her. Worked her magic? Everyone was shook. She said Hashimoto would be fixed up in like an hour. The gang started hyping up Shuji for clutching the win. Suddenly, Leonora and Guas pulled up, and the kids raged, asking where they'd been and why they didn't assist. When things got real, Guas was like, "Chill, I was spectating the whole time. It's not a drill if I carry you guys through every single fight." Shuji clapped back. Hashimoto almost died. "Bro." Guas just shrugged. "Risking your neck is part of the gig. That's the kind of drama you'll face, IRL, so quit with the lame excuses." Shuji wasn't having it. "You said only low mobs spawn here. So where'd that armored tank come from?" Leonora chimed in. "Probably that demon assassin's fault. Armored creeps shouldn't be here. They decided to buff security." Totally clueless that Kai had already smoked the assassin. Leonora added that they better level up fast, or they're gonna get wiped. Everyone looked terrified. Shuji tried to talk some sense into hair, but she cut him off. Getting strong is the only way to survive, period. Arashi got super salty about being bossed around and tried to step to Leonora, but Guas blocked him. "You guys are just pawns," he sneered. "Don't think you can disobey the queen." Things got spicy. Shuji grabbed Arashi to chill him out, since they literally had zero choice but to listen. Guas actually looked impressed by Shuji. "Your valuable assets to country. We won't break you, as long as you behave." Arashi was still pressed, though. He blasted Guas with his explosion quirk, but Guas dodged it like it was nothing, and punched Arashi so hard, he ate dirt. "You're all weak," Guas laughed. "Tomorrow, the training wheels come off." He and Leonora bounced. Arashi stood up, face all bloody, swearing he'd in Guas next day. Steady, the researcher guy took over. After a quick recap, he dropped the bomb. They were fighting real monsters at his lab. The place was packed with creepy creatures he was raising for experiments. The drill started and the candidates were thrown into the pit. Kai noticed everyone was weirdly chilled despite being forced to brawl. Shuji told Steady, "Yo, these monsters are way too OP for us." But Steady just shrugged. Leonora said no mercy. So, I can't go easy on you, he smirked. Besides, with powers like yours, losing to these things, total embarrassment. Added that heroes with stats like theirs shouldn't be flopping here. First up, he claimed willpower was the real MVP for Shuji was skept, but he swore if you nailed the technique, you'd totally buff your stats and unlock sick new skill trees. Kai crashed the chat, claiming his sensory skills picked up. A shiny new ability on Shuji bro was totally shook, and big Steady for a test drive. Steady was hyped to watch, so he gave the green light. Shuji, unleash the beast. Incessalizing the mob's limbs, clean cut. Kai knew wouldn't sweat armored tanks. Now, he wondered if his own sensory stats got a buff too. Then Kai peeped someone else. Unlocked the skull Arashi, but he kept his mouth shut. Later, that night Arashi schemed to off-gas and kidnap Leon. To force a logout, a few other noobs backed him, hype, to quit the game. Arashi tried to recruit claiming better odds since Narumi hated this server too. Narumi stalled, but eventually shook on it. The next day, Shuji was grinding XP. Kai rolled up, you're going hard. Shuji said he was still trash and needed to get gut. Kai retorted that he could already solo half the nights here. Shuji said, nope, can't beat gas yet. Need more juice too. Save the squad. Kai asked his take on Leonora and gas. Shuji knew they were just being played like pawns in their war but figured they were safe. Kai asked if he'd risk it all until the boss dropped. Shuji nodded, saying his mind was set. He'd solo the fight, be the main character, beat the boss, become the hero, and negotiate safety for the rest of the lobby. Kai asked if Leonora would chill. Right on cue, she and Gas walked in like they owned it. She told Steady he was boss of the noobs, while AFK Steady was stoked to help out, saying, no problem. As they bailed, Gas asked if she was certain about her pick. She asked why he was throwing shade. Said quit playing. Arashi was definitely cooking up drama, and she agreed, betting it was a full-on mutiny. Rising against them, he asked to play. She said she wanted to watch the show. Gaz was stressing though these kids had powers, so it could turn into a total disaster for them. But Leonora was chill. She knew they couldn't touch her. She said let's set a hierarchy, crush the revolt, and humble them permanently. She also mentioned seeing other sus stuff but ignored it for now. Later, Kai was fighting a mob, killing it. Exactly like the first night. He took only 13 seconds. When he checked his own stats, he saw a level up. Suddenly, another mob jumped him, but this one was Tanky Blades bounced off. Perfect time to take the new cheat code for a spin. His fresh ability highlighted the baddie's soft spot instantly. Zap, monster toasted before it could blink. Not a shabby trick, but survival here needs more juice. He needed to get swap. A mob of beasts rushed him Toto, XP farm. He stomped him flat. Boring, he needed a boss fight. Then, footsteps. It was keen. Yo, what's a prep school girl doing out past bedtime? She claimed she was hunting for him since his bunk was empty. He told her to scoot this woods isn't a playground for the squishy types. He's a night owl brawler. She's not. She zipped his lip and asked, what's your deal out here? He shrugged. Just grinding new skills. What kind? She pressed. He started teasing her, and she suddenly blurted out she was worried. Caught. She turned tomato red and started rambling excuses. Mid-cringe, they spotted smoke spiraling nearby. Fire. The dorms were roasting. They sprinted back to find the other students battling creeps. Narumi waved, looking relieved. Oh, he panted. Woke up to flames and fangs. Kai frowned. This smells like sabotage. The puppet master's gotta be close. He told nab the culprit. Suddenly, Steady popped up on the roof. Nice deduction, kiddos. He smirked. Kai nodded. Wondered how these ooglies got in. Makes sense there, you're lab rats, right? Juiced up on steroids too. Steady breath. The vanilla ones were too lame. Kai rolled his eyes. What's the end game here, Doc? Why frag the students? Orders from the big boss. He shrugged. Told me to wipe you lot out, even if I lose my tenure here. He grinned. Nothing personal, just business. Sadly, you gotta die. They asked if Leonore ordered the hit. Her, please, he scoffed. Not that witch. This comes from the Demon King himself. Turns, aha, he's a double agent. If I ace this, I get a cushy research gig on the dark side. You sold your soul just to study weird critters. Steady laughed. Monsters are way cooler than humans. He snapped his fingers, ordering the beasties. 2. Feast Kenzaki tried to freeze him, but her magic fizzled out. Instantly, they shattered her spell, and Kai swooped in, saving her bacon. Steady clapped like a fanboy. EU, impressive. Kai ignored him, slicing through the mob. He dropped nearly a dozen, making Steady rage. You're supposed to be weak. Kai scanned the guy with his cheat eye. Stats were trash, but one thing stood out. He had domination hacks just like Kenzaki, only way buffed. That's why her magic got in her. Steady looked. Rattled, he reached for a forbidden item. Didn't want to use this, but you leave me no choice. Feast your eyes on this. Kai jumped. To interrupt the casting, zero patience for monologues. But, whoosh, a massive red dragon blasted fire. Steady's ace card. The beast started chucking rocks. Kai yelled in air me. Girl and Bale, incoming. Kai activated his scope again to spot the dragon's got a glass neck, but Kai's noodle arms couldn't slice it. Suddenly, Arashi jumps in, smacking the beast and flexing hard. But while he's busy yapping, the dragon claps back instantly. Kai yells, Yo Arashi, we gotta duo this boss or we're toast. Why do I need you? Arashi asks. I got eyes. You got muscle? Kai says. I see the crit spots, but do zero damage. Arashi tried to play tough, calling Kai a noob, but they had zero time as the dragon lunged. The beast started spitting straight fire at Arashi's face again, so he caved. Fine, let's team up. Kai points out the next scale. The strut. Kai draws aggro, so Arashi can land the critical hit. Steady. The baddie screams at his pet to finish them off. Now, the monster charges. Kai distracts it, and Arashi booms the weak spot. Dragon down? Kai asks. Steady. You got any more cheats or not? His ace flopped, so Steady claims he has backup mobs. Ready? But oops, Shuji and the squad already cleared all the trash mobs. Steady tries to bail, but Narumi grabs him. Going somewhere? Bruh. Kai demands the tea, and Steady spills instantly since he's soft. But before he can rat, he turns purple and drops dead. Game over. Turns out, he had a curse that auto-deleted him for Next morning, the gang confronts Leonora, like, yo, explain yourself. She's the one who left that creep in charge. She says, sorry, sort of. My bad. Didn't think a low-tier Tamar could do much damage. Everyone shook. Wait, you knew he was a baddie and still chilled? Why'd you let a literal demon Tamar babysit us? Make it make sense. Her excuse, I said training was hardcore. This was just a pop quiz. Then Gas chimes in, blaming them for not spotting red flags sooner. Leonora changes the subject. Pack your bags. We're hitting the capital. Next arc is the big hero reveal in the royal capital. They're throwing a massive parade, and our crew is the main event. So they bounce that evening and set up camp in a field later. While grubbing, Arashi whispers to his goons about the guards. There's only like 30 guards, and they look super weak. He decides it's time to execute his shady master plan. We outnumber them. He tells Aminia to fetch Narumi's crew. Kai, he knows the guards are mid, but there's a catch. Security is lax only cause Gas and Leonora are OP solo players. Kai sneaks over to Yo, we really need to chat. Later, Arashi and Narumi link up in the woods, looking sus. They're about to jump the guards when Shuji's squad blocks the path. Shuji steps up. Heard you're trying to flatline the teachers. Arashi's face hits the floor. How'd you know my strat? They try to talk him down. Bro, chill with the murder vibes. There's gotta be a better way than PKing the instructors. Arashi rolls his eyes. I'll talk. You got a better plan? Genius. Shuji smirks. Yeah, I'll beat upon to checkmate the Demon King. Arashi wasn't buying that safety guarantee. He snapped. Move it. But Shuji and the crew blocked his path. Zero agreement meant fists. Then, two troops barged in. Bedtime. We got an early ride, they said. Arashi bailed, muttering, sick of this week's sauce. Talking was useless. Next day, royal capital. Time. Totally packed for the ceremony. The street mobs gawked at us. Hero wannabes. Like we were idols. At the castle, Holy Knight Reigns said, chill out. Everyone was hyped for the royal treatment. Soft beds, hot baths, epic rub. But Kai, he went snooping. Too many guards though. He spotted Reigns chatting up his squad nearby, discussing how we're way buffered than normal kids. One grunt was stressing out, letting heroes in. He said, we'll make the demons go totally nuts. Reigns shrugged. Relax, these kids are beasts. Kai needed answers, so he snuck off to town, hit a pub, grabbed a drink and chips. The locals gossiped about how basic Asiros looked. Weirdly, they feared the church more than the king. He grilled the barkeep, who was like, I'm new bro. But the guy did mention the spooky Demon King. How he's wrecking the place and mind folks with crazy power. Oh, and apparently, his fan club blew up a mansion recently. Kai dipped, thinking his being here was a total disaster waiting. Suddenly, Kenzaki popped up. You okay? He told her he was intel gathering in this weird. Zonji looked stressed. Let me help, she said. He said no. She got salty. After some bickering, he caved. Fine. Go scout the royal capital stuff. She split. Kai split, but some creep was eavesdropping. On the whole chat, Guy smirked as she walked off. Kai crashed in his room. Zero useful info found, except a new baddie exists. Then, weird noises. From the hall, he peeked out and saw the gang. huddled up, what's up? Turns out, Kinza vanished, stayed in Miss Kai since he's a loner. Kai played dumb. No clue. Shuji figured she wasn't inside. It's almost dawn. Let's hunt, he said. They scattered. Kai spotted her ID card on the pavement, grabbed it, and Bam4 masked. Dudes jumped him. He dropped 3 instantly. Cornered the last one. Who sent you rookies? Spy number 4 froze up. Kai made him spill the tea. Meanwhile, over at some creepy castle, Kanzaki was tied up tight. 2 creeps were grilling her, but she wasn't saying a word. They wanted deets on the hero squad. When she refused to snitch, one of the goons ripped her shirt. Rude much, but joke's on them. Kai was already creeping. Peeping from the shadows, he checked their stats. Total noobs. Seriously, nabbed by losers. He deleted them fast. Kanzaki turned beet red. Kanzaki turned beet red. Kazawel Kai cut her loose. Just as they were bouncing, Kai felt bad vibes rushing in at Mach 10. Enter Reigns, the Holy Knight, swinging immediately. 0 chill. They dodged the hit. Dude grinned. Welp, guess I gotta unalive you too. Turns out, Mr. Holy Knight was actually a Demon King General. Plot twist. Kai rolled his eyes. This kingdom is toast if baddies run the capital. Kai scanned a guy. Okay, Reigns was actually cracked at the game. Total beast. They clashed. Kai barely dodged the swipe. But then whoosh, fire magic, out of nowhere. Kai was shook. He juked it, but Reigns lit his sword up like a barbecue. Game over, kid, Reigns smirked. Kai just whipped out his heater, and a headshot, right between the eyes. Dude dropped like a sack of potato. Kai hated wasting ammo on trash mobs. But desperate times, right? Gotta learn melee to survive this server. No cap. Kanzaki stared at the piece. Yo, a gun. In a fantasy world? That's wild. Kinda freaky, knowing a classmate was packing heat, she admitted. Assassin starter pack, Kai shrugged. No biggie. She said thanks. But Kai asked, why didn't you just mind control him? Chains nerfed my abilities, she explained. Couldn't cast a thing. As they bailed, she warned him the cult was hunting the whole class. Old news, Kai said. Got that info from the last guy I grabbed? That snitch spilled the beans about the Kill All Heroes quest. Apparently, there's a hit on all of us. And yeah, that spy gave up your spot. They planned to use her as bait to trap the others. Dirty move. Weird thing, Reigns didn't trigger the death curse when he died. Which means, not a demon job. Humans are the ones backstabbing us. Traitors in the ranks. By sunrise, Shugi tracked them down. He was stoked she was okay. Kai filled him in on the Demon King fan club. Humans fighting humans. Kai sighed. And we can't tell friend from foe. Unlike monsters with red health bars, these traitors look like regular NPC. Trust nobody. They agreed to keep Leonora in the dark for now. She'd just say, figure it out. Scrubs. So why bother? Plan A. Group up. But then POOF. Smoke bomb. Suddenly, they were circled by a whole squad of cult creeps. Battle mode on turns out. Every hero group was getting jumped. Kai counted 6 bad guys. Weaker than Reigns, but definitely not trash mobs. 6 goons rushed him. Kanzaki froze him. Kai went stabby, slicing noggins. Like Melon's instant, game over. Shuji was super shook seeing actual humans get wrecked. He tried to start a huge drama, but Kai shut him down. Bro, they're villains. Suddenly, a leftover goon jumps Shuji. Shu tries the whole let's talk strut, but the simp just screamed for his master. Kanzaki prepped her magic, but Kai blocked her. Nah, let Shuji handle the trash. Shuji snapped the dude's blade and offered a truce, but the guy had 0 chill and slashed Shuji's hand. Big mistake, Shuji countered and sliced him up. Guy starts crying, so Shuji tried to walk away. Kai screamed, end him. Right now or he'll come back. Shuji hesitated, but finally did the deed. Meanwhile, Arashi and his squad totally wiped the floor with everyone. Arashi fried the last guy. Rina and the crew hated the killing people thing. Beside Rina, the girls were getting wrecked. Then Leonora pops in, asking if they want a passing grade. The bad guys raged when they spotted her. She's like, duh, these are my students. So, obviously I'm gonna save their butts. One goon yells, you ain't even got your night. What you gonna do? She roasted him. Y'all just newbie simps tricked by the Demon King, not even worth my time as enemies. They all rushed her at once. So she hit him with the domination spell, gluing them to the floor. They were stuck. Rina says, whoa, just like Kanzaki. Leonora goes, don't insult me. My skills are way more opus than that basic magic. Rina asks why she bothered saving them. Leonora's like, I told you about the grades, right? They all thanked her. But one creeping goon grabbed her dress, begging not to be ignored. She looks down, like oops, my bad, you're alive. Then she uses her mind control mojo on the students instead. Kill the floor, guys, she ordered. Their bodies moved, automatically, wiping out the goons against their will. That's Leonora's crazy power. Kai and Kanzaki watched from afar, totally stunned. Controlling that many mobs at once? Her range and stats were good. 12 hours later, everyone met in the hall. Most looked like total garbage. Traumatized, Narumi raged. I'm not letting her slide for making us murder people. Shuji felt guilty for being slow, but Kai kept it real. Bro, being fast wouldn't matter. None of you noobs are buff enough to resist Leonora yet. Kai knew since the demon general got clapped, they lay low for a bit. He told Kanzaki to tag along. She's like, why? And he explains they need to figure out how to counter Leonora's brain. He needs an expert with the same vibes, so he goes, hit me with your mind. Powers went full tomato mode. Hearing that, day after they booted those cult weirdos, the kingdom threw a massive party for the hero squad. Proof that these kids weren't just talk during the big smackdown with the Demon King's fan club. The Capital Peeps treated them like legit celebs. But when the gang linked up, Leonora dropped a bomb. Go back to Temple City Alpha. Ooh, a rude much? Kai explained, it's the spawn point where they first got summoned. Figured it was Leonora's turf. He asked if she was tagging along, but she pulled the I'm busy card, said she had errands, and was dumping them on gas. Typical babysitter move. Rena was like, we'd go back, but our dorms are toast. Then she clocked a girl looking super sus and shaky, couldn't even speak. Terrified of Leonora, Leah dipped with a creepy grin, leaving everyone hating her guts. Soon, Gas hauled the crew toward the waypoint. Night falls. Camp set. Arashi and the boys sneak off. Kanzaki asks Kai, we doing this? Kai's like, Uba, Leonora's ghosting us, and these soldiers are total and weak sauce. Perfect time to delete Gaia. No reason to stop the fun. So he sat back to enjoy the show. Meanwhile, Naru baited Gas into the woods, claiming he saw a giant monster. Gas fell for it since the path led to the capital risky stuff. Lurking there, suddenly, Arashi jumps him from behind. Full send. Gas didn't see it coming, tanked a hit, and started leaking. Arashi taunted, my ult didn't end you. Gas stumbled. Foot heavy, and Click stepped on a landmine. Boom, goes the dynamite. Arashi smirked. Total setup. Bro, Gas tried to shield up with mana, but still got wrecked. He wheezed. I'm disappointed. Didn't think you'd camp a bush like a n. Suddenly, Arashi's squad ganged up on the old guy. Seeing things go south, Gas yeeted a light ball skyward. Kanzaki and Kai saw it way off. Kai scoffed. Arashi messed up. The soldiers saw the flare and rushed over. But Kai game over for them. He wiped them all out. Meanwhile, Gas was getting absolutely folded by the students. Couldn't handle the DPS lost an arm, covered in red paint. Arashi was like, tough for a boomer. Narumi pointed out the SOS flare. Saying he was stalling, Gas just smirked. No need for that. Leonora waltzed in, smiling big. Gas, you're looking pretty. Cornered, she teased. The whole squad was absolutely shook. Meanwhile, Shuji and Rina saw Kanzaki using domination hacks to bind up some soldiers. She claimed she was just following orders, but 0 people believed that lie. They knew she wasn't the type to listen. Then Kai walked up. Actually, she's following my orders, he said. Shuji couldn't believe his ears, stunned all over again. They were shook when he said he iced the guards. He explained Arashi. ... was busy throwing hands with Gas, so he handled the trash. Shuji ... and the squad finally got the memo. Shuji asked if he teamed up with ... Arashi. He was like, nah, I just do whatever I feel like doing. Kai snapped, quit bugging me. Go find your boy, Arashi. Shuji ... and the crew dipped to hunt for Arashi. Leonora told Gas that he ... was totally washing out. He admitted it. Like, I'm too old for this. But Arashi wasn't having it. He swore after all this drama, he ... was... you ain't gonna chicken out and run. Then some random candidate asked ... if she was the puppet master pulling strings. Leonora clapped back, ... saying, it's complicated, okay? There are rules to this stuff. If you got huge mana, you can resist. But for you, who rely on powers with 0 skill, super easy to brainwash. Arashi called her a total coward for playing dirty, ... and bet she couldn't take them one. She just ... smirked. Fine, I'll wreck you myself, she said, promising to ... curb stomp him. Arashi lunged, but she instantly summoned a huge ... rock and yeeted him across the map. Then she started spamming fire ... water, and wind to wipe the floor with everyone. Narumi swooped in ... grabbed Arashi, and flew high. Suddenly, Shuji and the gang ... showed up. He yelled at Arashi to chill, asking, what's the point? Arashi retorted, make me stop if you're tough enough. I hate ... your soft vibe. Shuji asked the group if they agreed ... and Rina stepped up, like I'm with Arashi. Leonora cracked up ... mocking their infighting. You guys are a mess, she laughed. You started this rebellion, own it. She asked if they seriously, thought she'd let him off the hook just for quitting now. Then she whipped up a mega cyclone, hurting everybody. Panicked, seeing his friends drop. Arashi was like, get a grip. If you want to save everyone, you gotta resolve yourself, or else, we're all toast. Shuji realized there was zero choice left. He squared up, and so did Reina. Leonora boasted that she, would show them levels. Meanwhile, not too far away, Kenzaki. Ask Kai, what's the play? He said once Leonora used, mind control, he'll jump in. Till then, trust the squad. The team got ready to brawl against Leonora. Gas managed, to scrape himself up, wheezing he'd still fight for her. Leonora, healed him instantly. Boom, back to full health. The candidates, freaked out. All that work to beat Gas. Wasted. Rina shouted, that they had more people now, so it balanced out. Leonora, told them to bring it on whenever. This is just a little, pop quiz for you, she teased. Can't beat me? No hero license. Double quotes, for you. The fight started. Gas realized that it was, tough to fight Shuji's magic sword. Leonora shot water, at Shuji. Rina blocked it, but he still got tagged. They, they swarmed Leonora, but 0 hits landed on her. Meanwhile, Kai was lurking in the shade, peeping Leonora's stats with his skill. He saw that while her magic was god tier, her defense was trash. One solid physical smack would end it. But Gas blocked the path. Arashi told Shuji, I got Gas, you wreck Leonora. Shuji hit a major snag though, and turns out his magic was useless against her. A teammate tossed him a steel blade, and Leonora smirked, noting he finally looked ready to throw hands. The squad couldn't help Shuji since their skills glitched on her, and Arashi was too busy brawling. Close quarters. Arashi went toe-to-toe with Gas. Even though Gas healed, his stamina bar was low, but Arashi's explosive moves were offline, so it was a stalemate. Leonora spammed ranged shots, keeping Shuji and his sword at bay. He needed a serious hack to close the gap and KO her, but he was clueless. Leonora grinned, saying, typical Shuji. Barely anyone in the nation could juke her shots. Still, she was owning him since he couldn't get near or call for backup. Shuji just yetted himself at her, tanking wind blasts. She tried ground and fire combos, but he dodged them all. She realized he was subconsciously buffing his defense with magic leveling up. Spooked, she blasted him back with her mojo. Meanwhile, Arashi was out of juice. Wondering to drop Gas slashed his gut in one go. Arashi got salty about losing to a grandpa. As he knelt, Gas mocked his lack of powers. Arashi clapped back. I'm built different, and decked the old guy so hard he'd hit the dirt, bleeding dub secured. Meanwhile, Shuji knew he had to clutch this or his pals were toast. He stood up, radiating scary energy. Leonora noted his crazy HP, but stayed chill, thinking he was too far. Wrong? In a split second, Shuji teleported in and slashed her hand. Impossible? Maybe, but Ziratai was already behind her. She panic-splashed water to shove him. She realized he unlocked Flash Step. The cheat again, an inch from ending her. When she yelled Daniil, he froze. She smiled, admitting she hated using this exploit, but had to. Kai saw she finally played her ace and told Kenzaki to go. Leonora smirked, saying Shuji forced her to use slave magic. He was planking at her feet. The squad rushed to save him, but Leonora ordered, freeze, and they paused. She said, GG guys, you pass. She added she didn't expect Gas to flock, but hey, knights are replaceable NPC. As long as she controlled the players, it was fine. The team was losing hope. Without a counter, she told him straight up, fight and you lose. She admitted the reason she summoned the squad was to brainwash them later. That way, she could control them totally so they wouldn't turn on her. Suddenly, 3 knives came flying from behind, but she dodged him like a pro. She claimed she knew he was lurking there. Enter Kai, looking shocked that she even bothered to notice. A basic NPC like him, she dissed him, saying he gave off weird vibes from the start. Then she hit him with the I'm disappointed in you speech, saying she didn't expect him to suicide run into a losing battle. She commanded him to freeze, and boom, he was stuck. While she was busy her magic bullet tore right through her shoulder. She was totally shook. How was he moving and blasting while frozen? She demanded to know how, since her spell was definitely active. His answer, another shot to the gut. She had zero clue what hit her since firearms weren't a thing in her reality. Her shields failed. He briefly explained the whole gun concept, adding he was low on ammo and hated wasting it. She blasted fire back, but only scorched his empty robe. He wasn't there. A split second later, he teleported behind her, pistol barrel pressed to her skull. He mocked her terrible close combat skills and pointed out her mind control flopped. She was stunned. Total denial. Kai's risky bet paid off. The secret sauce, Kanzaki, earlier that night, he asked her to brainwash him first. See, the rule is, the spell cast first takes priority over any new ones. So, if she used her domination skill on him beforehand, it would block Leonora's nasty magic. Plus, since heroes have divine protection, their skills are way stronger than standard magic. Kanzaki had doubted her own power against the witch, but it worked. Same deal with Teddy. He cast his spell early, so he snatched back control of his monsters. It was a massive gamble, but their only shot. Back in the now, Leonora realized it had to be. She was right. Kai, technically spellbound by his pal, told her, game over, and squeezed the trigger. Leonora got slapped in those magic sealing cuffs, the exact same pair they used on Kanzaki earlier. She glared at Kai, asking what his master plan was. His price was simple: send us back home, and you walk free. She apologized, saying that was a no-go. All she could do was summon folks here. Sending them back required totally different magic. Kai could tell she wasn't bluffing. She legit had no exit skills. He grilled her so, to get home, after beating the boss. She explained that summoning takes crazy energy, so they rely on their god. Basically, the big guy upstairs summoned them. Theory was, once they clapped the Demon King, God would personally warp them back. But she sounded super sketchy, because no previous heroes ever actually went home, mostly because the Demon King crushed them. Any survivors just mysteriously vanished. After that cheerful little chat, Kai prepped to end her, but Shuji stepped in. Shuji said he only played nice because he thought she was their return ticket. Now that the truth was out, things were looking pretty grim. Since going back wasn't an option, he wanted to keep his hero cred intact. Being labeled a traitor, hard pass. Kai asked, aren't we all ready? Leonora swore she'd act like the whole night never even happened. Shuji warned that offing Asanus was heavy. Big trouble. The squad agreed. Narumi was the only one still vibing with Kai. Shuji admitted taking her out made sense, but asked, then what? Kai got the logic, but then pulled a massive plot twist. Bang. He shot Leonora right between the eyes. No hesitation. Everyone gasped as she hit the dirt. Kai dropped a smoke bomb. In the chaos, he ghosted them. The team was not thrilled. Kanzaki realized this crazy move was actually the plan. Hours ago, Kai laid it out. Plan A was grab Leonora and go home. But if that failed, Plan B was simple. She had to be deleted. He knew if they got stuck, Shuji would try to play hero. At that point, Kai would have to end her and bail solo. He planned to carry the Saint to Skiller label all alone. That's why he left guards alive, so they'd pin it on him. He told Kanzaki to blame him and head back to the Empire. She hesitated, but he said, you got this. Use your powers. Just smooth talk him. She asked where he'd go. Don't worry about me, he said. Meanwhile, in a dark castle, a minion updated the Demon King on the failed hero hit. The king wasn't stressed. Chill, they'll show up at the front. He actually found the game entertaining. 2 days later, Kai was camping in the woods near a city. Half a day's walk. Since he was public enemy number 1, he waited for nightfall. He needed cash, so he ducked into a tavern. Great atmosphere. A local asked his story. He lied. From nearby, looking for a gig. The guy said, be an adventurer, take quests, get paid. The guild needs bodies, so they won't even check your ID. Perfect! He crashed at an inn, totally incognito. Next morning, he hit the town guild. It was chaotic. He walked up to the counter to register, asked for name and origin. He went with Siren. He spun a sob story about the Demon King crushing his village. The clerk nodded. She explained the ranks. A to F, higher status, higher pay. Since he was a total noob here, he started at he hit the quest board to find his first job. But soon, 3 guys approached to mess with him. They were roasting him hard, and he was getting annoyed. Last time we saw Kai, he was surrounded by some. He checked the board for a gig, but trouble found him fast. 3 bullies cornered him, talking trash. He wasn't having it. Last time, Kai was surrounded by some. The other adventurers told him to quit, but Aragi Kai just spun around, said thanks, but no thanks, and told them to back off. The guys got super salty, thinking Aragi was acting way too cocky. The crowd whispered that the squad was bullying a total noob again. So, one guy tries to sucker punch Aragi, screaming that he needed to be humbled, but Aragi caught his fist like a boss. The dude freaked out, yelling to let go. Aragi just shrugged and dropped his hand since he wasn't trying to brawl. But then the guy tells his crew to jump Aragi and teach him a lesson. They all rushed him, but Aragi wrecked him instantly and walked out of the guild. As he left, he thought, if that's the average skill level, here, these guys are a joke compared to hero candidates. It was, honestly, pathetic. So he decided to speedrun the quest ASAP. Cut to the forest. Aragi thought the kobolds should be nearby. Based on the quest info, suddenly, he spotted paw prints in the dirt. Aragi followed the trail, and the deeper he got, the more his senses tingled. Someone was lurking, and it wasn't just one. These mystery mobs were decent at hiding, so kobolds, out of nowhere. One jumps in from behind for a sneak attack, but Aragi sensed it coming and dodged with zero effort. He noticed the beast had a human sword, probably looted it off. Some unlucky adventurer, while he was analyzing, another kobold tried to flank him. Aragi dodged, grabbed a fistful of dust and threw it, right in the monster's eyes. Classic move. While that one was blinded, Aragi decked the first kobold. As it hit the floor, he snatched the sword and finished it off. Seeing his buddy drop, the second kobold froze, but Aragi didn't wait. He sliced it up with a knife. Game over. Aragi used his judgment skill to check their stats, and realized these guys were total trash mobs. Feeling confident, he decided to farm them for cash. A bit later, back at the guild, everyone stared at Aragi. He had 3 heads. Aragi dumped a pile of kobold ears on the counter as proof. He asked Mia, the receptionist, "Is this good?" She stammered a yes and asked if he seriously soloed them. Aragi was like, yeah, explaining the fight was a cakewalk. But playing hide-and-seek was the hard part. He realized that, while his combat stats were OP, his scouting skills were kinda mid. The crowd couldn't believe a rookie clapped all those kobolds. So as they started gossiping, wondering if Ar was secretly a Serank smurf from another town, but someone else was like, nah, he's totally a Mia Katin, telling Aragi to hang tight while she grabbed his reward. The scene flips to night. Aragi, walking home, counting his stacks of cash. He was hyped that farming such weak mobs paid so well. He realized for now, securing the bag was the only thing that mattered. Survival was the main quest, obviously, so Kai stuck around the city to grind gold as an adventurer. Figured networking at the guild was the meta for info. Then boom, Samarando blocked his path. Kai was like, "Can I help you?" Eyeing the buff kid. "We tougher than the NPCs he fought earlier. I'm Lyle, the kid Barang boss, here." Kai yawned. "Cool story." Lyle twitched. "You the glitch, messing with my crew?" Kai smirked. "Your minions started it, bro." Lyle lost it. "Don't cap to my face. I heard some new brek to my squad." Kai shrugged. "Yeah, I totally folded them." Lyle snapped. "Then, I'm gonna wreck you." He threw hands, trying to deck Kai, but Kai dodged every shot like it was nothing. Bored Kai swept his leg. Lyle ate dirt. Lyle gasped. "What the heck?" Kai laughed. "Fast, but sloppy. You're trying too hard." Lyle raged and charged in again. "Shut up." But Kai caught his fist midair and slammed him into the floor. "You suck at PvP, Kai explained calmly. "Too used to fighting dumb monsters." Lyle fumed. "If you're so OP, why bully my weak guys?" "Told you, big misunderstanding." Later, back at the guild HQ, Lyle looked down. "My bad. Seriously." He roasted his own dudes for lying. "I shouldn't have believed you morons." They mumbled apologies to Kai, looking salty. "Whatever," Kai said. "We're good. But hey, I got a question for you." Lyle nodded fast. "Anything, man? Ask away." "I'm just a traveler, needing cash," Kai started. "That's why I signed up. But there's more. I got a specific mission in mind." Lyle looked confused. "What do you need?" "I need a way to hop dimensions," Kai said. Everyone froze. "Another world? Is that even possible?" A minion whispered. "Wait, don't the heroes come from there?" "Exactly." Kai nodded. "I need their route." Lyle sighed. "That's heavy magic stuff. Honestly, we don't know jack about that." Kai knew digging up that magic info would be a total pain. So he hoped Lyle's crew had the tea. Lyle was like, "Yo, there's basically only one dude with the answers. Sage Elbon Corette." Lyle gasped. "Bro, how do you not know? Elbon's the elf. His big brain saved this whole country." Hearing that, Kai felt a bell ring. Wait, sounds familiar? For real? He recalled reading some nerdy stuff about an elven sage. Usually, elves vibe deep in the woods, total hermits. He said, aren't they super rare, like living legends who never leave their forest cribs? Kai figured that meant, so the one elf who touched grass became the sage. Lyle nodded. Heard Elbin's been kicking for over 100 years. Dude is a walking wiki of wisdom. Plus, Elbin's cracked its knows everything. Kai wondered, do elves have that spirit connection? That makes magic pros. He started brainstorming. Even if there wasn't a specific go-home spell handy, maybe they could hack something together with spells. Lyle's minion, Raka, piped up. Is this sage guy even alive? I've never heard of him. 0 sightings. Nothing. Nobody's seen him. Right? Liao laughed. Got me there. No clue. He told Kai. Sorry for the useless info. Aragakai waved it off. Nah, that was actually valid. Anyway, it's getting late. I'm bouncing back to the inn. Lyle got nosy. So, what's the plan, after you find a way? 2 hop worlds. Aragakai smirked, keeping it mysterious. I'll let your imaginations run wild with that one. Confused, the squad watched Aragakai walk off to crash. Cut to, 1 week later, Mia was at the guild handing Eric his loot for a finished quest. Cash in hand, walking out. Aragakai thought, wow, been a whole week since that talk. In that time, he'd stacked some serious paper. Suddenly, Lyal and Raka rolled up. Quest done, let's get drinks. Aragakai gave them a weird Imma look and shut it down. Leo rolled his eyes. You're such a buzz, they said by leaving Aragakai to his thoughts on the road. He'd finally dug up the dirt on the sage. Name's Elben Ore. About 10 years ago, Elben was the country's top advisor. Now retired. The dude was chilling near the western border. That's exactly where they're fighting the Demon King's army. Aragakai decided. No point sticking around this city. Time to go bother this so-called sage Elben Ore. The scene flips to Holy Temple City Alpha, where the hero cut to Holy Temple City Alpha, where the wannabe heroes. We're chilling with Heinrich, head honcho of the 8th Night Corps dude mentioned it's been a month since he started babysitting them, taking over for the late Sanus. So, he asks Madu Shuji, you got beef? Shuji's like, nah, we're good, hinting everything's sweet since Heinrich was crushing it. Heinrich gets all hype, saying these hero kids are major assets. 2. The nation. So they get the VIP treatment. Hashima gave props, but honestly felt the guy was totally different from Leon. Still, she got major skeech vibes. Heinrich then cut to the chase, saying that yesterday's meeting decided to deploy the hero. Squad Shugi blinked, asking if that meant what he thought, a one-way trip to the front lines. Heinrich nods, confirming they're definitely heading to the danger zone. He explained the western border is still a hot mess. Heinrich whipped out a map, pointing to a fort where they'd be stationed. Shuji nodded but was about to bring up that deal they made. Heinrich cut in, swearing he'd keep his word to shield the Shuji was super thankful for the backup. Then Heinrich mentioned he'd dole out chores, stressing that everyone needs to pull their weight to eat. Shuji agreed, seeing the logic in working for perks. Hashimoto asked about the departure time. Heinrich said like tomorrow morning. He told Shuji to spread the word, so everyone's packed and ready. Walking out, Shugi and Mare chatted. Mare was relieved. Heinrich actually listened, Shuji agreed, admitting he thought their demands were too extra, but was stoked it all worked out. Mary guessed the knights were insecure about handling the squad without Leonora, hence the humble act. Shuji noted with her gone, the knights are totally on edge. Mara then drifted to Aragi Kai, wondering where that dude vanished. Flashback time. When Leonora got delete keyed and Kai bailed, the bishop was freaking out, asking who. Oft Leonora, Nagasena pointed fingers straight at Aragi Kai, outing him as a candidate. Hearing this, the bishop and guards were shook. The bishop frantically asked for Kai. Location Nagasena, said Kai already bolted, noting he was crazy fast for a traitor. The guards started whispering, arguing if they should send an inquisitor right now, if Kai betrayal is real, or check if Saintess Leonora actually bit the dust. Arashi Shinuka raged, demanding answers. The bishop clapped back, clarifying he wasn't exactly calling cap on the story, but hinting that maybe, just maybe, the whole hero squad plotted to take out Leo. Right then, Shuji froze up. But surprise, Leonora's knight stepped up, claiming he saw the whole drama go down. He spilled that Shuji and the crew were legit trying to save the Sanus, but Aragi Kai wrecked him, causing her game over. The other knight backed him, so the bishop was like, if her own guards say so, I guess it's real. Then he asked about Kai's power level, like, is he up? Shuji nodded, explaining Kai had been whole time. The bishop then invited them for a proper debrief in his room, asking one hero candidate to tag along. Little did they know, Kanzaki Rin was lurking, mind-hacking the knights from behind a wall. Shuji chilled out, glad Rin's hacks got them out of that mess. Back in the present, Hashimoto Mare asked Shuji if he was still stressing over Kai, saying it was dumb. Shugi faked a smile to agree, but inside, he was totally wrecked. Knowing Kai took the fall for the squad. He was salty because he swore to protect everyone, but Kai snatched that job, leaving Shuji feeling useless. To help it, later, Shuji rounded up the gang and dropped news. They were ordered to the front lines. He told the fighters to gear up for a morning departure. Some guys got nervous about actual combat. Nagase rolled up and said it was too late to chicken out, reminding them they signed up for this drama. Shiori asked if they were the only ones deploying. Shuji said nope, they were rolling with the 8th Night Corps led by Captain Heiner, Rin asked if there was any tea on Aragi Kai. Shuji said the temple put a price on Ki's head, sent a massive mob to hunt him down. He added that nobody knew where Kai was hiding. Hearing that, Rin looked super bummed. Shuji tried to comfort her, but Nagasena screamed. She didn't care if Kai was a traitor or not, she'd roast him. If they met, Rin, feeling totally crushed, wondered why Kai ditched her. The scene flipped to the jungle where the heroes and knights, plus guards, were trekking. Shanik sensed a vibe and paused. Just then, Shiori yelled. She was beat and asked for a timeout. Hashimoto Mara said they just ate lunch, so no chance. Looks like they're hiking till dark. Some guys wondered if action was coming after hiking for so long. 2 days of boring nothingness later, Arashi slams the brakes. The squad's confused, but he's catching bad vibes. From behind the bushes, suddenly, a cranky knight rolls up, screaming at the hero crew. Why'd you stop? Midyu tries explaining. The monster radar went off, but Mr. Grumpy yells back that he's blind as a bat. I'm the boss. You listen to me. No permission, no moving. Arashi snaps. He chokes the guy out like, say that again? Knight's trembling. Medu's begging him to chill, but Arashi's raging. Why listen to this loser? Boom! Something lunges at Arashi. He drops the knight to dodge. It's a bunny. With knife hands, sharp rabbit. The guards scream. Panic mode. Get ready to fight. But before they can blink, the murder bunnies charge, slapping swords away. When rabbit's about to slice a guard when, whoosh! Fireball roasts it instantly. Arashi saves the day with his powers. Guard says thanks, but Arashi's like, move, you're blocking my view. Then he solos the rest of the rabbits like a pro gamer. Easy claps. Classmates are drooling over his crazy power, way stronger than before, but Arashi's salty. It's not enough to beat Aragi Kai. Cue flashback to Kai pointing a piece at Leonora. Arashi gets mad just thinking about that guy. Kai never looked scared of him, which proves he's stronger. Total buzz. Araga's chill attitude just confirms Arashi is second best. Arashi thought his explosive upgrade made him top dog, but realizing Kai's is still OP, super annoying. Realizing Kai is wildly OP, total buzz. Shuji just barges into Arashi's daydream. It's nothing, he just hates being bossed around by total trash. Later, they hit the western border. Welcome to Fort Truss. Captain Amelia says hi. She's the boss here. Henrik asks about the watchdog. Oh! He croaked about a week ago, she says casually. Everyone's shook. Amelia wants to let them chill, but she can't even finish her sentence. Guards scream, Demon Kings, army inbound. Amelia grins. Welp, no nap time. You guys are up. Midyu sighs. Suit up, team. Arashi looks pumped. Finally, some real action. He thinks. Midyu tells everyone to prep for battle. Arashi is totally ready to wreck something. Brawl time. Sirens wailed as guards hyped up the demon invasion. Max totally flipped out seeing that huge mob of monsters approaching him. Like, why so many? Hin orders the guards to just start blasting him to thin the herd before they get close. The guards start flinging arrows while Fire Knights eat massive fireballs at him. Even with all the pyro and pointy stuff, those creeps kept cumin. Marching on, screaming, they'd wreck us. Medu Shuji was totally shook cause those beasts weren't backing down despite the damage. Amelia's like, yo, basic attacks won't stop them guys. She told the newbie heroes to quit slacking and respect the monsters' tanky stats. Since us humans are kinda squishy compared, Medu's sweating bullets, asking Amelia what the game plan is. She tells him to just vibe with Heinrich's orders. For now, then she says she'll take the 4th Order Knights to go throw hands herself Heinrich's. Oh, I was gonna say that, but noticed some dudes were already down there brawling with the monsters. Medu, totally lost, asks who he means. Nagas Rena fills him in that Heinrich meant Arashi's crew since they already jumped in. Earlier Medu's mind blown, asking Rana to please run that back. When the smoke lifted, they saw that actual humans were faced. The monsters roasted Arashi and the gang, calling them idiots with a serious death wish. Arashi goes, demons, whatever. I literally don't care. Swore to delete them from reality. Then it really popped up. Inside, some monsters smashed a wall and rushed the guards. A beast tried to one-shot a guard, but Medu blocked the hit with his blade. Even the guard was like, whoa, Medu. Then Medu used his OP move, Sword Extend, and instantly wrecked Creep. After that, Medu felt totally hyped and ready to go. Realizing he's leveling up fast, he yells out to tell squad, guys, this is winnable. No fear, let's get it. Hearing that, every candidate got super pumped up as Medu geared up again. He told himself, don't freeze up, cause if he flinches, the team panics. Since he's the leader, he remembered how Eric Kai schooled him on being naive. Hashimoto yells, quit staring and help Mighty fight right now. Nagasa starts blasting, and Kennekin begins owning the monsters. Just like that, The brawl raged on between the heroes and beasts. Watching them scrap, the guards were stunned by their OP skills versus the demon army yells at guards to cover the heroes so they can push back. They nodded and charged. After a super long, exhausting fight, clapping the demon army, Amelia cheerfully screams, "Gee," and the guards partied as the sun went down. Midu Shuji was just zoning out hard. Then Hinrik cuts in asking if it's his first real brawl and how it felt. Medu's just like, "Yeah, it is," shouting how commanding huge wars is a total headache for a newbie. He admitted he got major tunnel vision, making shot calling super tough. For him to lead the squad properly, Heinrich patted Shuji on the back for his hustle and high-five the hero hopefuls for clutch and dub, but he told them to stay frosty cause, even though they stomped some mid-tier scrubs and small mobs, the really high-ranking boss demons are a whole new nightmare due to their skills. Shuji stops goofing around after that reality check and swears he'll lock it in. Cut to the spooky demon den, where a goon is snitching to Stone Gaia, one of the Elite Four demon kings. The beast cries about flopping his mission, which makes Gaia go ballistic. Scene swap to the great forest of Iet, where Kai was as he hit the border of the woods, he figured his trek to see the wise dude was almost over. Suddenly, Kai's spidey senses tingled with incoming danger. Giant tongues shot out. He barely swerved, clocking their insane velocity while wondering what the heck just licked at him. Peeking around, Kai spotted some weirdo beasts. He scanned them, and the Hudreed tongue baboon. After peeping their stats, Kai realized they were total scrubs. The monkeys rushed him again, but he sidestepped like a pro. Then, seeing them zoom in, Kai flexed his crazy speed, leaped back to cheese their hits. The freaky apes lashed out with tongue whips again, but this time Kai whipped out his blade and sliced that licker in half. The baboons were shook by the flex, and Kai kept chopping until he totally deleted gross appendage. The ape tried a tail swipe, but it was lagging. Kai dodged effortlessly and wrecked the mob. Seeing their buddy drop, the other apes froze, totally clueless. Kai, now annoyed, taunted them. "You guys rushing me? Or do I gotta come over there and end you?" Scene swap 2. A bit later with baboon bodies piled all over the dirt. Kai noted that way beefier monsters seemed to be spawning, guessing it was because he was nearing the Demon King's turf, or maybe because this zone is far from towns where guards hang out. As he pushed deeper, Kai figured that the deeper he goes, the higher chance of finding mobs that humans haven't touched. He was hyped. His scan skill let him peep these threats, so Kai decided to stay on his toes. For the grind, jump cut to later, where Kai finally hits Mount Arano, a huge wall slowing down the raid from the demon army. Kai explains the top spot is dubbed Reaper Wolf Mountain, and rumor has it, Sage Ali Bey chills at the top. He racked his brain to see if he remembered right that there should just a chill village at the base of Reaper Wolf Mountain. As Kai arrived at the village in total fire hazard, was this the Demon King's crew crashing the party? Kai's gut said yes. Definitely bad guy vibes here. Monsters everywhere. Kai watched from a sneaky roof spot, hidden away. Thought this zone was safe from drama. Guess not. Time to activate maximum stealth mode. Minions ask Boss Hecto, "So, do we reckon kill everyone?" Hector's like, "Nah, chill out. Let's capture M." Then he asks for the T on E. Got info on the sage. A monster nodded. Yep, he's chilling at the top of Reaper Wolf Mountain. Hector groaned. He actually hated that the intel was right. "Ah, fine. Priority 1 is Elin the Sage. Crash here tonight. We climb that beast tomorrow." One monster looked super sketchy about the plan. "But boss, that's Reaper Wolf turf. Their nest? Those wolves are savage. You can't tame them. We gotta beat him or we're never getting up there." Another creep asked, "Why is that such a big deal?" "Mind control flops on smart beasts," the first explained. "Too smart. Even the 4 kings barely manage ... a dragon once. But wolves? No chance for us." Hector shrugged. "I'm trash at taming magic anyway. No point crying over skills we don't have, right? Only one option, boys. We fight the wolves." The squad agreed. Kai watched the whole pep talk, thinking, wow, Hector actually runs a tight ship. Maybe because he's a big shot high-ranking demon. Check the stats. Yep. Hector's totally elite tier. Rare, powerful, boss. Kai swallowed hard. Yikes. Taking that guy had absolute suicide mission. Suddenly, Hector froze. "Someone's watching us." He ordered a minion to go check the perimeter. Kai wins. Dude's senses are scary sharp. They hunted for him, but Kai didn't even sweat it. He's a stealth pro. Then he spotted something. Villagers, tied up tight like holiday turkeys. Kai hesitated, but decided to leave them be. Goal 1 is finding Sage Elin before they do. Gotta beat the army up that mountain. Scene flip. Cut to the peak of Aruga super dangerous spot. Kai somehow made it up there. Checked his map. No trail listed. Guess he's following beast tracks. Vision getting blurry, ground feeling kinda wobbly. He rushed, but kept his steps light and careful. Trekked deeper. His radar pinged. Someone was definitely lurking. Probably those infamous wolves. He strained his ears. 1, 2, no, 3. The noise level was spiking fast. Even hidden, their menacing vibes were totally suffocating. Boom. Ambush. Wolves popped up everywhere, like magic. Before they could chomp, he yeeted himself up a tall tree. Safe. Now he knew why folks ghosted on this mountain. He triggered his appraisal skill to scan the enemy mobs. Stats. Basic. But their team coordination was legit scary. While he was judging them, a wolf decided to play lumberjack. It rammed the tree, snapping the trunk like a dry twig. Thinking fast, Kai grabbed a leaf and pumped it with mana. Slash. Wolf halved instantly. Leaf blade for the win. More leaped at him. He swatted them down like flies. 2 more bit the dust. Same trick. 0 effort involved. Now a squad of 5 or 6 rushed him. Time to buff up. He infused mana into his body. Manual control mode. He recalled Leonora trace-talking divine protection users. Relying on auto skills ruins your mana control, she'd said. Basically, if you spam cheat codes, you never learn the game. Those guys were totally clueless about managing their energy. That's why she saw them as total scrubs to be dominated. And exactly why her enslavement magic wrecked them so hard. Kai knew he had to patch that exploit in his own build. Mastering mana meant better defense against enemy hex. Sure, mana isn't as broken as divine protection, but to survive this crazy world, he had to grind the basics. So, he turned the fight into a training session, climbing up. Suddenly, his sensors flared. Something big was ahead. He be like, boss fight time. He taunted the beast. The minions looked super confused. The alpha lunge. Kai didn't even flinch. One smooth counter, and the boss was deleted. Too easy. The moment the big guy dropped, the pack panicked. Their MVP was dead, so they scattered like roaches. Oh no, you don't. Kai chased the stragglers solo. Then, glitch. He saw a red ghost overlaid on a wolf. Wait, was his skill predicting their hit? Bingo. Future. Sight unlocked. He knew their moves early. With this cheat, he folded 2 more wolves instantly. He could see about 1 second into the future. Sick. The leftover wolves were absolutely terrified now. Don't run. Cowards. Help me grind a bit longer. Shortly after, Kai wiped the map clean. He checked his stats, checked his profile. New perk unlocked. Future Sight. Agari's Future Sight is basically a cheat code now. He realized when he snagged weak point detection, his appraisal skill leveled up to talk about a His blessings went from basic to enhanced. As appraisal now let him spy every detail. Dude was totally fried, so Agari tried to crash, but nope. Bad vibes detected. Demon King's squad nearby. Nap cancelled. He ditched a break and sprinted toward the trouble. Cut to the mountain peak. Monsters had cornered an elf girl named Mayor. Hector de Boss was like, props for hanging in there. Sage's student. Expect nothing less from a pro. Then he dropped the hammer, but game over. He ordered his creeps to delete the elf. Mayor was about to clap back when a monster jumped. Surprise, Agari swoops in out of nowhere, fast as lightning, and scoops her up to dodge the hit. Mayor shook a human, saved her. The monster's confused. Who's this noob? New challenger. Agari clocks 10 mobs total, plus their leader Hector, a high-tier demon. Mayor asks, why help me? Agari's like, you roll with Sage. Elin Orit. When she nods, he explains, I need a massive favor from the Sage. Got some business to handle with Elin. He scans her stats. Gotta love the appraisal hacks. Plus, she's got legit spell skills in her loadout. Nice. Hector cuts in. Don't care who you are. Human, you're an enemy. He tells his goons to wipe them both. 0 mercy. Agari knows the deal. Save the girl, beat the creeps, get the favor. Simple. The monsters rush him. Agari toggles his foresight on, trying to read their inputs. It works. The skill is clutch. He predicts every move, blocking perfectly. The monsters are stunned. In a blur, Agari slices through the whole squad with his knife. Total carnage. The other monsters just stare, frozen. Agari thinks, in Malay, I'm basically a god with this active, but he's sweating the cooldown. How many minutes of juice left? Meanwhile, Hector yells, stop feeding. Don't charge. Don't just charge in. Spam magic at the human. You noobs. The minions obey, firing magic bullets. Agari panics. Ranged attacks are bad news. He tenses up. Suddenly, Mayor casts a wind spell from Syl, blowing the bullets away. Agari's impressed. That a spell? Realizing its spirit power. Borrowing strength from spirits is elf-exclusive stuff. Mayor confirms, thanking him. Thanks to you, the spirit recharged. Hector is raging. We ain't winning like this. He decides to jump in the ring himself. Agari gets serious. Hey elf, Keep the trash mobs off me, he says. I'll 1v1 the leader. Mayor replies, I can handle it. ... But stop calling me Elf. The name's Mayor. He gave props to the girl, calling her Sage's sidekick. She went full Karen. My name is Mayor, you tonal noob. She rage quit. The chat? Ooga, just drop it. Agari rushed the boss. Hector, dude was ridiculously buff. Parkered off Hector's blade and launched himself up. Tried to shank him, but Hector block level 100. Hector swung back. Agari juked and landed a cheap shot. First blood. Hector took damage. Yo, did you read my inputs? Not bad for a squishy human main. But Agari panicked. That hit barely scratched his HP bar. High-ranked demons are tanky. This raid boss is trouble. Without his wahacks, he'd be respawning right now. Hector, if you weren't human, you'd be Agari spammed to praise. Time to check the enemy stats. Maxed physicals plus crazy senses. Total try-hard build. And sword skill. LVL 5. Okay, that's just unfair. Melee is suicide. Needs a big brain play to clutch this. Come get some, Hector roared. Stop camping over there. Fine, I'll wreck you myself. The demon charged in. Agari dodged but took a clip. Ouch. Leaking HP. Lag is real. Seeing the future won't help if you're slow. The stat gap was massive. It's a total mismatch. Hector lolled, just gonna kite me all day. Coward. Agari whipped out the heater. Pop pop, shots fired. Hector slapped the bullets away. Literal cheat mode enabled. Wait, they pierced. Critical hit on the hand. Nice one. Hector froze. What is this sorcery? He screamed. You dare use hacks on me. He was absolutely steaming. Boss enraged. Agari aimed the strap for round 2. Hector, I see your aim. Bot. Scrub. Click. Empty clip. Agari yeeted some knives instead. Hector swatted, like flies. Boring. 0 damage. Suddenly, Agari sat down. The disrespect. Nope. Tossed a spicy pineapple. Ha, goes Hector. He rushed in blindly. Big mistake. Trap card activated. Boom. Mobs watched the fireworks. Jaw-dropping stuff. May was shook. Who is this guy? Some pro gamer. He's owning a boss solo, she gasped. And he's human? Agari drew his blade. Out of ammo? So it's knife time? That nade was his ult. Now he's basically on Hector. R-E-S-P-A-W-N-E-D ... kinda. Tech ain't cutting it here. Can't cheese this fight with boomsticks anymore? Hector was stop using weird toys. Cheater. He raged. Agari braced himself for the impact. He needed to toggle his exploit hacks. But first, dude needed to chill. Agari read Hector's moves like a pro gamer facing a boss rush. He tracked the attack path and spotted the glitch. Agari camped that spot. Blade ready. Hector lunged forward, basically impaling himself on the knife like a total noob. Right in the jugular. Hector gasped, confused how he got wrecked. Agari admitted his weak point hacks were but they drained mana fast. Totally gassed. He flew. The dirt. Panic set in when he realized his mana was 0. Big yikes. The monster mobs saw their leader was toast. But seeing Agari winded, they rushed him. Mayor freaked out too. Her spirits were low, but she wanted to back him, just to repay the save. As the ugly horde charged to go, bam! Someone dropped a nuke level fire spell, roasting the whole squad. Agari noted, this damage was in a totally different league compared to the others. Suddenly, a voice popped up by Mayor, apologizing for the lag. Mayor beamed, yellin' master. Agari clicked, it was the sage, Elbana, the legend he'd been hunting. Elbana thanked Agari, figuring he'd been trying to save her student from that mess. Agari shrugged, total coincidence, and asked if she. The great sage Elbana nodded, adding she's just a frail old lady now. Agari tried to spam his appraisal skill, but his mana was zip. Still, he knew this grandma. Busted strong 0 chance he could beat her. So, no point lying. He had to keep it real. Elbana asked Agari, had business with her? He said yeah. Elbana replied, that's nobody visits her without a reason anyway, and thanked him for saving her pupil. She promised to try and answer his questions. Mayor jumped in, asking if they could dip. Since the place reeked of blood and more wolves might spawn, Elbana agreed and told Agari to tag along to rest. He was done, and while walking, he thought things were looking pretty sweet. Saving the disciple was totally worth it. Cut to later, when the crew reached Elbana's crib, Mayor said she was hitting the bath. Agari asked Elbana. She lived in the boonies. She said she had her reasons, mostly wanting to vibe with nature, even in retirement. Too many people chased her for clout. Agari said he got it, since her place was a trek. Elbana admitted that. Sometimes pros like him do show up, and she wasn't mean enough to ghost them. Agari went straight for it. He was one of the hero candidates sent to wreck the Demon King. Elbana replied that they were the 3rd generation of hero hopefuls. She mentioned hearing rumors but didn't expect they'd already been summoned. Hearing, 3rd gen. He froze. flashing back to Leo's rant about how they dragged others here. Apparently, they'd Isekai a bunch of hero wannabes before. 4 years back was Season 2 of the hero draft pick. Season 1 was 10 years ago. Spoiler alert, squads went to raid the Demon King and got absolutely done. Total wipe. After that, the summoning app was banned, locked away forever. But Saintess Leah wanted to jailbreak him and summon Gen 3. Alana was like, big mistake. She thought dumping the country's drama on some random alien kid was cringe, even if God said so. Agari Chill Eye said he'd already handled Leo. No more kidnapping rituals for her. Ilana was shook. Beating Leah sounded impossible. She thought he was capping. Agari just smirked. Stats aren't everything, fam. You can cheese any boss if you know the exploits. Ilana laughed at his flex. True that. Still funny, she got played by her own pawn. Karma's a witch. Agori agreed. I get why you want out. Home calls, but I gotta keep it real with you. I hate waffling, so here's the tea. I can't send you back. My magic doesn't work that way. Agari looked wrecked. Serious? No return ticket? He asked. Totally bummed. Any clues? Anything? Ilana shook her head. Summoning is easy. The return to sender part. Lost? Tech. Nobody bothered to research it for ages. Agari sighed. Leo said the same junk. So, I gotta clap the Demon King? No other option? Ilana shrugged. Pretty much. Or maybe dark arts. Demonic stuff might work. Agari nodded. Dark arts. Huh. Guess that's my next side quest. Ilana felt bad. Sorry, I'm useless here. Thanks for saving my student though. If I find a hack, I'll DM you. Agari thanked her for the info. Ilana smiled. Maybe you can actually solo the boss. Ooh, sounds like a grind. Agari groaned. But if there's no choice, I'll wreck him. He'd slay the Demon King. The killer look he gave. Scary. Ilana froze. This guy hit different compared to the other hero noobs she'd met. It felt like he'd grown up in a dark, cold void. Finally, Agari thanked her. Hit up Siren at the guild if you find anything. She decided to leave Mayor with him. Just then, Mayor walked out of the bath. You should wash up, she told Agari. You're filthy from the climb. Agari vibed with Mayor, agreeing that a bath was definitely the move. Then Elbin crashed the party, telling Agari to pause and listen up. She had a thought. Why isn't my student rolling out with you? Mayor's jaw dropped. Student, wait, do you mean me? She was shook. Cut to the Vora Demon Kingdoms. Sketchy border. The messy front line facing the holy kingdom of Dearest. Agari and Mayor were hiking through, destination locked in. Agari brought her along. Nice, son, he chirped, not gloomy at all. Heard the weather in Demonland was supposed to be total trash. Mayor sighed. This was Holy Land, like yesterday. Real Vora territory is way nastier. This is just the suburbs. Agari nodded. Got it, invaded by the Demon King's crew. Mayor pointed west. See those Arugo mountains over there? Big city named Newt Trat sits there. Plus, local villages. Well, used to be, now it's crawling with demon soldiers. That's the new front line. That's where we're crashing. Gonna be a 2-day trek. Hope your cardio is good. Agari hesitated. What about the locals? They okay? Mayor frowned. Grim stuff. Half were wiped out instantly. The rest are slaves now. Forced labor. Total nightmare. Some lucky ones bailed over the mountains to safety. Agari nodded, impressed. Okay, smarty. Good intel. Bringing the walking wiki was definitely a pro move. Flashback to Elban bugging Agari to take the kid along. Agari said hard pass, so Mayor yelled, give me a shot. Just think about it. Elban cracked up at Agari's sass. Dude, don't be savage. You're a noob in this world. She's got mad lore stored in that brain. Super useful. Honestly, I've been trying to send her away for ages. Been waiting for a chance to kick her out of the nest. But sending my cute student solo. Total panic attack. Agari looked confused. Why dump her on me though? Why don't you take her on a road trip yourself? Elban sighed. My adventuring days are toasts. Buddy, I look fresh, but my stats are way down. No stamina. My clock's ticking. Plus, a wild hero appeared to save her. Mayor tried to stall. Thanks, but I gotta think. Agari cut in. I'm sneaking into Demon HQ. Dangerous. It's gonna be intense. High stakes mission only. If you lag, I'm ditching you. No babysitting allowed. Elban nudged Mayor. It's your life, kid. Your call. Mayor focused. My life. Something clicked inside. I get it now. I'm ready to roll with Agari. Back to now. Agari eyed her. You look wrecked already. Don't pass out. We still have a full day ahead of us. He kept walking, hoping she knew the drill. Mayor ... was like, don't expect buff stats from a mage. Even if she'd been Agari saw her. ... Struggle. Let's camp. Mayor gasped. Wait. ... DIDN single. Quotes. Do you say you'd yeet me if I lagged? I got ... rolled his eyes. What kind of nonsense is that? I ain't ditching you. Now go pitch the tent. Mayor, totally shook, saluted. You got it, boss. 5 mins. Cut 2. Night vibes. Campfire lit. Agari and May are chilling. She's snacking. He's ... staring. Look, he goes, you probably know ... This quest gets gnarly. Danger level, 100%, but I won't quit. Gotta get home, no matter what. But you, he shrugged. Maybe your reason, is in single quotes, T ... As heavy he paused. Albana wasn't trolling. ... Was she? You got a real reason to tag along? Mayor sighed. It's messy, but I've taken LS. My old crib, the Elven village, totally wiped ... by the Demon King's crew. Agari frowned. Wait, ... thought it was humans versus monsters. No ... demons wreck everyone. She got quiet. FAM ... Mom, dad, lil bro ... all toast. She only lived 'cause dad played tank to distract the mobs. I was useless, she muttered. Total NPC energy. Army left her for dead. Game over. Nope. Albana found her, took her in, leveled her up. Agari cut in. Skip the history. What's the goal? Mayor glared. Do the math. Genius. I became a mage to get OP enough to ... crush monsters. Her eyes went full and 10 years of grinding. All for one thing. Revenge. I'm gonna personally delete the guy ... who killed my fam. Agari blinked to Wimberg, she growled. One of the 4 kings. Win boss. Top tier in the demon army. Agari nodded. So I'm your Uber to get to ... Wimberg. He shrugged. I got no beef with ... demons yet. Mayor looked away. Awkward. Still to know why Albana let me go with you. Especially after meeting you. She sighed. She's weird. I'll just follow your lead. For now, Agari smirked. Roger, that. He remembered Albana asking him to babysit. She knew he could handle the drama. It clicked. Why Albana wouldn't let her crazy student solo. Mayor felt totally bad for dumping her heavy revenge drama on a She told him to chill, swearing she didn't want to drag him into her messy vendetta. Agari realized she was dead set on soloing this. Questy told her to pause the deep talk and hit the hay. Had a long road trip tomorrow. Mayor nodded, saying she'd summon spirits to stand guard. They'd buzz them if any creeps showed up. While Mayor snoozed, Agari obsessed over the Demon King's elite. 4. He watched her sleep for a sec, then snuck out of the tent. He thought about how the last boss was insane, and the next one was gonna be even worse, realizing they needed major XP gains. Before fighting those beasts, Agari decided to quit overthinking. Stressing out now was totally useless. Meanwhile, over at the Holy King Fort, the vibe was intense. The brass decided that, with the new hero candidates, it was time to rush the enemy. Everyone hyped it up, asking where to start the raid. Amila suggested retaking Fort Eris. It used to be their turf. So, snatching it back made sense. It's their main base. Now, she argued. Break them there. They crumble. Heinrich wasn't buying it. He called the plan nuts, pointing out they'd been turtling forever. Why go aggro now? The other big shots asked Heinrich. What? The issue was, even if the rookie heroes belonged to his squad, Amelia admitted Heinrich had a point, but figured the enemy was sleeping on them. They wouldn't expect a blitz. She turned to Madushuji, you compromise. He shook his head no. He added that if they ordered a fight, he'd swing his sword. Later, Heinrich, Madu, and Hashimoto walked back. Heinrich confirmed the OP was a go for tomorrow, surprised by Amelia's pushy attitude. Hashimoto asked nervously if this would actually work, seeing how cocky everyone acted back there. Midu shrugged. If we gotta do it, hitting them while they're reorganizing is the smart play. He didn't think it was a throw. Heinrich grumbled that they were relying way too much on the heroes' cheat skills. It made the brass arrogant. He added that even though they were just exterior support, they couldn't ghost an order from the top. Hashimoto gulped. So we have zero choice. Heinrich sighed. Yep, I'll back him up. But the kids are the MVPs here. Tell them to get good sleep. Suddenly, Madu got a super bad vibe. He wondered what was up, feeling a knot in his stomach, but they were locked in now. The scene cut to the next morning near Fort Eris. The squad was geared up. Nayarina yawned, asking why they were raiding in broad daylight. Wouldn't a stealth night attack be the meta? Heinrich shook his head. Demons? See, in the dark, bright and early. She asked about sneak attacks. Heinrich's like, nope, demons have night vision. Fighting in the dark, that's a total nerf. Basically putting them at a disadvantage. Madu Shuji needed to confirm the main quest. Clap the boss while the main squad drew aggro from the mobs. He figured the leader was probably some high-level demon lord. Shuji told the hero wannabes he'd tank the front line. When the battle popped off, he was like, if I'm AFK, just stall for time, or Tactical retreat. Just then, a guard pinged Heinrich saying, the main force sent the go signal to start the raid. Heinrich told Shuji and the squad to rush B without thinking twice. The whole server raided the fort. Amelia screamed for everyone to delete these noobs. Little did they know, they were being by Stone Gaia, the Demon King's top general. Cut to, a few seconds later, Heinrich and some rookies entered the main tower. The mobs inside froze up, trying to attack, but Shugi speedrun through them in seconds. Heinrich warned Shuji, yo, stay woke, the dungeon boss is definitely still lurking. In this lobby, suddenly, they got pincer-tacked by trash mobs. From both sides, the rookies panicked, asking Shuji, what's the play? Heinrich yelled, let the 8th Order handle the back. You guys, push the objective. Shuji was down with the plan, and called Nisera was like, brr, say less, I know my job is to wipe the floor with these creeps blocking our path. She ulted, and the squad joined the combo and enemies ahead. Finally, they kicked open the boss door and were shook to see a humanoid dude. Sam was sweating. What in the actual? Arashi asked if this guy was the clan leader, or what. Stone Gaia flexed, revealing he was one of the Demon King's Elite Four. Kanzaki, Rin, and Hashimoto Marai got super nervous hearing that title. Shuji felt the bad vibes too, realizing Stone Gaia Zora was totally broken. Gaia drew his sword. Uno B, Uno Me. Bro, Shuji told the squad to buff up. But honestly, he was trying not to choke. He knew if they wipe here, the main forces, sacrifice would be for nothing. They readied up to fight, but Stone Gaia just sat down and touched the floor. Weird flex. Shuji was confused, but then a huge orange hitbox spawned around Gaia. The heroes tensed up. Dirt exploded, summoning tons of golems right in front of RQA and the crew. Total jump scare. Gaia ordered the golems to gank the hero candidates. Shuji yelled, crowd control, the golems. Narumi Oshia was like, bet, and started slicing golems with razor leaf magic. Arashi jumped in to spamming fire punches through the rock monsters. Arashi laughed, doesn't matter how many spawn, these laggy mobs are just free XP for us. But suddenly, Stone Gaia used a cheat code, making the smashed golems their bodies instantly. Seeing the regen, the heroes were totally gagged. Confused. Yeah. But they kept throwing hands, smashing golems, but they total glitch. RSCA almost got flattened, but luckily enough, Rin hacked the mobs with her domination skill. Some dude hit a golem, but whoops, the thing hit back hard. Moray went psycho with her telekinesis. Reckonem, Baduha, and they respawned instantly. Arashi was getting salty. Infinite spawn? Seriously, it looked hopeless. Then Yash had a big brain manga flashback moment. Gotta kill the summoner. Classic boss, he told Shuji. We'll tank the mobs. You just rush the main boss. Shuji was like, bet. Him and Arashi geared up to gank the summoner. They charged Stagia, but he just smirked at him. You noobs are underestimating me. Stonia cast magic-eating rock straight at Shuji's face. Shugi sprinted to dodge, but the stones had aim boat. He couldn't shake him at all. Bam! Direct hit. The squad screamed, I'm good, he yelled. Joke's on Gaia though. It was bait. Shuji distracted him, so Arashi could creep up behind. The play worked, and Arashi snuck in a massive, fiery sucker punch. Full power. Everyone held their breath. Did he? One-shot the Demon King. Smoke cleared. Oop. Arashi just punched a dirt wall. Super awkward. Then the wall hit back. Punched him in the gut. Arashi code Stonia laughed. Is that it? Weak sauce. Time for a quick commercial break. What's next? Can Shuji's crew clutch the win? Or is it straight up game over for them?